This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
All right, thanks for checking in. And to show our appreciation, our gift to you, this guy.
Not much of a gift if you ask me, but this is coming up. Georgia's recent cold front left more than just a chill in the air. It means peach growers are now looking at major losses statewide. Plus, get ready for an exclusive up-close and personal interview with Commissioner of Agriculture Tyler Harper as he opens up about his journey into politics and why being commissioner is his dream job. Just some of the stories you'll see today, and it all starts right now.
While a recent cold front might have ruined a few weekend plans for many across Georgia, it had a significantly bigger impact on peach growers. Damon Jones now on what damage has been done and how it's going to affect the market.
While California might be the largest producer, no other state in the country is more synonymous with the peach than Georgia. However, it's been a trying year for growers as a late freeze has caused some of the worst conditions in more than a decade.
The thing that made this one a little bit rougher than last year probably was that we were about 10 days earlier in our bloom and the status of the crop. The warm February pushed everything to start blooming and start moving a whole lot earlier than normal.
It's a problem farmers had to deal with last year as well, but to a much lesser extent.
I would say last year we had about a 60% crop, which was a good 60% once it actually developed. This year I would say it kind of flip-flopped. We're probably looking at 40%, and it's still a little early, but the damage is a lot easier to see, riding through orchards right now than it was last year.
One of the silver linings is that quality shouldn't be affected, as despite the warmer than average winter, the crop did receive the proper amount of chill hours, and the damaged fruit won't even make it to the shelves.
I mean, it shouldn't, because what got zapped, so it won't be in the market. It wasn't like it was slightly damaged and you'll have some fruit quality issues. The fruit that's left, as long as we have decent weather from here on out, should be good quality fruit. We were a little bit short on some of our higher chill varieties. We were right around 750 hours of chill, if you look at just chill hours, not chill portions or units. So we're a little bit under chilled on some things, but most everything was coming out fairly normally. Some of them are a little slower, but for the most part, it satisfied what we have in Middle Georgia.
But that does mean consumers might have to wait a little longer to buy sweet Georgia peaches and pay a little more for them.
I mean, it's really fewer peaches across the Southeast, probably. It's going to mean higher prices, probably, and it's going to mean that you're going to have to wait a little while longer to get peaches. I saw when I was in Brooks County, they should be harvesting pretty soon. So, you may have to drive south to go get your early peaches if you want some early peaches. But hopefully we can hang on and have some late June, early July peaches still in Georgia.
With late freezes being a constant threat to the producers, UGA is working on some alternative growing methods in order to mitigate some of the risk.
We might do a few things a little bit differently, try and minimize any mid-March freezes. But we've been working on different things and some different production practices to help mitigate that, leave more limbs, leave more flowers, more fruit early. And maybe even prune it a little later, but they'll continue on. We'll take care of the trees from here on out and take care of what crop we have left.
Reporting from Spalding County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
It's not surprising to find dedicated, hardworking loggers in Georgia, which is the leading forestry state in the country. John Holcomb highlights one such logger, Harry Sanders III, who comes from a family of loggers and who's now being recognized for his outstanding contributions.
Logging is no doubt big business here in Georgia, as it contributes almost $40 billion to the state's economy, which of course wouldn't be possible without hardworking loggers and logging operations like this one in Middle Georgia, Sanders Logging, a family-run operation that's hard at work harvesting timber with the next generation taking over the reins.
I'm a third generation, so my granddaddy and my father started this company back a long time ago, and they incorporated it back in 1982. So that's how we started off. We started off short wooden, and it kind of transformed into what it is today. I was born in '91, and I knew from a young age that I always wanted to be a logger. So I grew up around it, and as soon as I could get out here and get on a piece of equipment, I did. And I was fortunate enough to go to the University of Georgia, to Warnell for forestry school, and I graduated back in 2014, and I've been full-time with the company ever since.
Sanders has certainly found his stride, as he still has the same passion he had when he was younger, even taking that passion a step further by becoming an advocate for the state's forestry industry and the work they do each and every day, something he believes is important for the future of the industry and business.
I thoroughly love what I do, and I love to tell people about what I do because a general consensus of a logging industry, or a logger in general, is we're cutting trees, we're hurting the environment and all, but we're really not. We're really managers of a crop we call trees. So I guess one of my biggest things is, I just want to educate the public on what we do, and I feel like, that you need to get out in front of people that don't quite understand what we do. So that's been my biggest driver, is really tell my story. And, in doing that, that's given me opportunities to speak at the Capitol. It's given me opportunity to speak to schools, classrooms of all ages, and I've really enjoyed doing that, and I hope to continue to be able to do that.
It's because of that passion, hard work, and dedication that Sanders not only loves what he does, but has been named the titles of Georgia Logger of the Year and Southeast Logger of the Year, an honor he says was earned by not only him, but everyone that he works alongside day in and day out.
Sometimes you get lost in the day-to-day and just the work that we do every day, and when somebody gives you a pat on the back, sometimes it's worth more than money can buy. So I would say that's kind of my stance on it, is that I'm really blessed that somebody's seen that that we done a good job, and they wanted to put us forward, and it's been a blessing to see that my peers in other industries kind of voted me, or voted us, not me. It's my whole crowd, the Georgia Logger of the Year and the Southeast Logger of the Year as well.
Reporting in Cochran for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Just a few months in office, and already Georgia Ag Commissioner Tyler Harper has made a lasting impression with his innovative approach and commitment to serving Georgia's farmers. Don't miss our one-on-one conversation with the commissioner when the Farm Monitor continues.
As farmers, we all know too well how many things can go wrong. As we grow, we learn to trust in people we can count on the most when times is hard. When it comes to mental health, farmers are not sure where to turn. And then we realize we can turn to UGA Extension to help us in more ways than one.
As a resource for farmers, families, and communities across Georgia, we at the University of Georgia Cooperative Extension Service provide resources to help beyond the field, especially in times of stress.
Because we know farming's not easy, but you don't have to do it alone.
Whether you need a helping hand for your farm or your health, we are here for you.
Extension is here to help you.
Just reach out. We're here to help you.
Well, this week, it's part one of our interview with Georgia's newly elected Commissioner of Agriculture, Tyler Harper. An interview set on the picturesque Harper family farm in Irwin County. An interview that dives deep into how Commissioner Harper has spent much of his life cultivating his love of agriculture and politics.
I, Tyler Harper,
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
the
office of Commissioner of Agriculture
of the state of Georgia.
Well, Commissioner, first off, thanks for having us down to your humble abode down here, beautiful Ocilla, Georgia. Let's take the commissioner hat off for a little second here. Let's talk about Tyler Harper, the person, and I don't want to throw you under the bus or divulge your age, but 36 years old. And the reason why I bring that up is because in such a short amount of time, you have done so much. State Senator, now Commissioner of Agriculture. What made you want to dive into the political arena in the first place?
Well, first off, Ray, good to have you on the family farm.
Good to be here.
Welcome to South Georgia. I know you've been in South Georgia many a time.
A lot of times.
Welcome to Irwin County, welcome to Ocilla, welcome to our family farm.
Appreciate it.
You know, it all started right here, right? So I grew up here on this farm, and you know, my passion for agriculture was embedded in me really early, right here on this dirt road. And give me the opportunity. Agriculture has given me the opportunity to do a lot of things, and I have been very successful and have been very blessed in my life up to this point. And a lot of that has to do with agriculture. Really, all of that has to do with agriculture. It's what I am, who I am, and what I'm about. And because of agriculture, I've been able to be successful, and through ABAC and the University of Georgia, and then opportunities to go to DC and work for U.S. Senator Saxby Chambliss, and worked on Commissioner Gary Black's ag campaign many years ago as a volunteer. And those all got me interested and sparked my interest in getting involved in the political world. And you know, a few years ago, an opportunity presented itself to run for the state Senate, and I did that, and jumped in with both feet and ran for the Senate. And I wouldn't have done that, obviously, if I didn't have an interest in serving. And I got that interest from working for Senator Chambliss when I was in DC through that congressional fellowship at the University of Georgia, and through other folks that encouraged me along the way to get involved. And I ran for the state Senate at 25 and was elected at 26, and served there for 10 years.
That's absolutely amazing. It really is. And you know, Commissioner, you look at where you came from, farmland, your interest in politics. Safe to say this is your dream job?
It's probably safe to say that. Well, the thing is it intersects things that I have a passion about, right? And I could tell you a longer story, which we don't have time for that, and really dive off into that how I got to where I am. But it intersects agriculture and service, agriculture and policy, agriculture and politics. That's what the Commissioner of Ag's role really intersects for me. And you're right. I mean, my entire life has been built up in my mind to this moment where I am now, serving as the 17th Commissioner of Agriculture for the state. And it's been a remarkable opportunity to be able to put my passions to work for the people of this state and for our ag community all across the state.
I gotta be honest, one of the things that really impressed me the most about you was the GFB convention in December.
Yep.
You got up there, you addressed the attendees, you brought the heat, you brought the passion.
But just like crops don't pick themselves, and just like cattle don't take themselves to market, we've got to work every day to water that crop. We've got to work every day to feed that livestock. We've got to work every day to do that for Georgia agriculture.
Where does that passion come from?
Well, honestly, it comes from right here. You know, if it wasn't for agriculture, our state would not be where it is today. It comes from my parents. It comes from my family. It comes from growing up on this family farm, growing up in the church that's 5 miles down the road from here. It comes from the background I learned here in my home county of Irwin County. Right here, we're in Lax, Georgia, where we are right here. Ocilla, you know, is my hometown, but that's where that passion comes from. It was embedded in me as a little boy.
Right on this dirt road.
Right on this dirt road.
Playing
like
with
I
your
said
tractors
earlier,
right here, right?
Playing with my toy tractors. This was my farm as a little boy, you know, and that was where I started understanding and realizing the passion that I have for this industry, and it was embedded in me, like I said earlier, by my family and my grandparents and others, and because as a 7th generation involved in this industry, you know, it's been passed down from one generation to the next, and it was passed down to me. And as I grew older, obviously, and got into the political arena and got involved in politics, especially serving in the Senate, that passion grew even more because I saw the importance of being involved in the policy making process, in the political arena, and why it's important for us to ensure that the folks who have the pencil understand and know the issues that impact our agricultural industry and our farmers and producers every single day. And, you know, I talked about that at the convention. That was one of the things I talked about, and the more I have been involved, the more I understand the need for us to be involved, which I'm glad Farm Bureau does that every single day. They do a phenomenal job of ensuring that policymakers know the issues that those of us in the ag industry are facing every day.
Again, part 1 of our conversation with Georgia Ag Commissioner Tyler Harper. Next week in part 2, we dive into the current state of Georgia agriculture and what Commissioner Harper says are the priorities on his radar.
Up next, sustaining life with better soil management. Plus, if there's an award given out by 4-H and FFA, chances are Lexi Pritchard has won it. Damon Jones profiles this high school phenom and reports on how her ag experience has already led to a new business venture.
Health. The origin of the word means whole. Because we are a connected part of the world around us, the health of one organism impacts the whole of our world. Just as the well-being of honeybees affects plants, trees, rodents, and birds, the health of living organisms found in the soil affects the health of the plants grown there, the animals that consume those plants, and so on. True health or wholeness involves connections, and soil health is fundamental to all health throughout the world. What makes soil healthy?
A healthy soil is one that can support crop production, but also protect the environment. And there are a lot of different soil characteristics that contribute to that.
From my perspective, the really important components are how well does that soil hold water, how well does that soil provide the nutrients that the crop needs, and how well does that anchor the plants in the soil and provide a medium for the root system to grow.
These functions, along with supporting the growth of plants and other microorganisms, provide the foundation for a healthy environment. The Cropping Systems and Water Quality Research Unit in Columbia, Missouri, explores how these soil functions work in agricultural settings. They study various management practices and identify those that promote soil health, particularly on land degraded by past management.
Soil health helps farmers understand how their management practices are affecting the essential functions that soils provide to their crops. And understanding these management practices will help them make sustainable and profitable decisions moving forward with their management operations.
Their research shows several methods farmers can implement to increase soil health on their land.
Well, a farmer can improve soil health and increase organic matter and these other characteristics by keeping the soil covered and having increased crop diversity, so a diversity of plants, and reducing disturbance, so reducing the tillage operations.
Practices that build soil carbon also improve soil health.
So what we're doing is we're taking a probe, we're pushing it into the soil, and on the probe we have 3 different sensors, and the idea is to take the measurements from those sensors and quantify the amount of carbon throughout the soil profile. Generally, the more carbon in the soil, the healthier the soil.
One of the best ways to increase soil carbon is by growing cover crops and perennial crops. This also minimizes soil erosion, one of the top causes of poor soil health.
Most farmers really want to be good stewards of the land and protect the environment, but at the same time, they want to maintain economic benefits, and soil health can contribute to both.
As soil health improves across the planet, so in turn will water quality, air quality, and even the Earth's resilience to climate variability. These elements affect all living organisms, so the healthier we can make our soils, the healthier all life will be.
Finally this week, very few 4-H or FFA members embody what those organizations stand for more than Oconee County's Lexi Pritchard. As Damon Jones reports, not only has she earned countless honors throughout her distinguished career, she also used what she's learned to start her very own operation.
This is just a small sample of the awards that grace the trophy case of Lexi Pritchard, whose career in both 4-H and FFA has been nothing short of remarkable. Growing up on a 90-acre family farm right outside of Oconee County, agriculture was a path Pritchard knew she was destined for.
I started showing cattle in the 7th grade. I got involved with 4-H and FFA right around that time too. I've done anything from forestry judging to livestock judging to consumer judging, and it's just been a whirlwind since then. And I'm like really grateful for all the opportunities that I've had, because it's really developed me into who I want to be, and it's shown me what I want to do with my career in the future.
It's that passion for agriculture and all there is to learn about the industry that led Pritchard to become actively involved in both her 4-H and FFA chapters.
What I think sets Lexi apart is she is such an advocate for agriculture and 4-H and FFA. We often find that kids, they are very loyal to one club or the other, and that's great. I mean, both have, ultimately we have the same mission, but Lexi's a kid that really advocates for both, and I love that she encourages her peers to do it all.
All that hard work has certainly paid off, as she is now up to 6 masters in the 4-H program, including one that recognizes her entire body of work.
Lexi has excelled in all things agriculture in both clubs. She recently became a Master 4-H'er in the Dean's Award Project, and that's a culmination of a 4-H'er's whole career, from 5th grade until whatever point for her it was 11th grade. Lexi's a kid who has really not just focused in one area. She loves the beef industry, she loves poultry, but if you look at her resume, she's hit dairy and equine. I mean, she really touches it all.
That love for cattle has manifested itself into her very own startup operation thanks to plenty of hard work and determination.
5th grade, I decided that I wanted to be a cow farmer, just kind of like out of the blue. But my grandma, sat me down and was like, this is going to take a lot of work. You got to understand, it's not as easy as that decision. And so I worked my butt off cleaning horse stalls for her every day for like a couple of years. And they supported me through it, and they helped me buy my first 2 cows. And it's just grown since then. And now I have about a herd of 30 head of cattle.
Even though she's accomplished so much in a short period of time, this is just the beginning for Pritchard, as she has big plans for the future.
I really hope to go into poultry science, which is something I got involved with in 4-H poultry judging in like the 7th grade. That has been something, when I haven't been doing poultry judging, I've been thinking about it. When it hasn't been the season we're practicing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I miss it so much. So that has been something that I've figured out. I want to do that with my future. And, I'm always going to have a herd of cattle as well. I just know that at some point in my life, I will figure out how to have a herd of cattle, because it's my favorite thing in the world.
Reporting from Oconee County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
Damon, thanks so much. Now, one final note. The 2023 packing date for Vidalia onions has been announced. It is April 17th.
Mark it down on your calendar. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Have a great week.